Pedro Ruiz, 22, was a young American YouTuber of Mexican descent who, together with his girlfriend Mona Lisa Perez, 19, ran a small but hopeful channel called La Mona Lisa. Their content was built around light-hearted pranks and adventurous vlogs. And, like many aspiring creators, they dreamed of going viral, believing that one big video could change everything for them.
I want to be bringing to you guys crazy stuff. I want to bring to you guys stuff that will make your blood pump out of your veins, because I want you to feel everything that I'm doing. That way you don't have to do it yourself. Let me be the one to do the crazy stuff people don't imagine of doing. People don't think that could happen.
On June 26, 2017, they decided to attempt what Pedro insisted would be the stunt that finally brought them the fame they were chasing. That day would also turn out to be his last. The recording began with Ruiz in front of the camera, speaking at length about his new ideas and his ambitious plans. He said he wanted to start a new channel called Damn It Boy, explaining that the name came from how people would react after watching his outrageous stunts. "Every week I'm going to be bringing you guys new crazy videos," he promised to his viewers. He then showed off the weapon that would play a central role in his idea, a gold-plated .50 caliber Desert Eagle pistol decorated with tiger stripe patterns, which he proudly described as the world's most powerful handgun. For weeks, he had been asking Mona Lisa to join him in this dangerous idea, telling her it would be the perfect way to launch the channel. She was hesitant, and even in the moments leading up to it, her silence and unease were clear. Moments before the shooting, Pedro spoke to the camera one last time. He tried to joke about the danger, saying, "If I die, I'll be ready for Jesus. He probably won't accept me at the pearly gates because of how stupid this is."
You see all my role models, Nitro Circus, Jax, big name stars. That's who I look up to. But my purpose is to be crazier than them. I may fail, but if I fail, I want to try. We're all gonna die anyways. It's just a matter of how and when. But I don't want to.
The words, meant to be lighthearted, would soon take on a chilling weight. The stunt was simple in concept, but reckless in execution. Pedro believed that holding a thick hardcover book against his chest would be enough to stop the bullet. He chose a 1.5-inch encyclopedia and placed it tightly against himself, standing just a foot away from where Mona Lisa was holding the pistol. She hesitated and asked him to think again, reminding him of the risk, but Pedro was insistent. He had shown her before how a bullet had lodged in a different book without going all the way through, convincing them both that this time would be no different. With the camera recording, Mona Lisa pulled the trigger. The round tore through the book and exited through Pedro's chest. He was killed instantly. What made it even more disturbing was the fact that Mona Lisa was 7 months pregnant with their second child at the time, and their 3-year-old daughter, along with bystanders, was there to witness the stunt. Hours earlier, she had even expressed her unease publicly on Twitter, writing, "Me and Pedro are probably going to shoot one of the most dangerous videos ever. His idea, not mine." It was posted just hours before she pulled the trigger. The video footage was seized by police and never released to the public, but clips of Pedro's preparation and the investigation that followed spread widely, becoming a grim example of how far some would go for internet fame.
What's the point of this? The point of this video is I just want to see if a 50 caliber bullet can go through a book.
See, but what's even crazy?
That's the point of this video. I just want to see if a 50 caliber bullet can go through a book.
Mona Lisa Perez was arrested and initially charged with second-degree manslaughter. She was later sentenced to 90 days in jail and 90 days at home in confinement, followed by 10 years of probation, a lifetime ban on owning firearms, and a prohibition on profiting from the video.
They were in love. They loved each other. It was just a prank gone wrong. It shouldn't have happened like this. It shouldn't have happened at all. This is where the prank happened, and this is where it went wrong. He had told me about an idea, and I said, don't do it. Don't do it. Why are you gonna use a gun? Why? Because we want more viewers. I don't know why they thought the book was supposed to stop the bullet. The fact that she's gotta live with this for the rest of her life, that alone is a charge too.
Despite this, she eventually started a new YouTube channel under her own name, Mona Lisa Perez. Her first video, titled New Chapter, Conversations with Mona, she pretty much spoke about moving on from the past and trying to build her own identity. But many of the comments were critical, with viewers asking why she would return to YouTube at all, given her history and what had happened. Friends and observers alike criticized the couple's decision that day, saying that chasing fame at the expense of safety would only ever end in tragedy. And for Pedro, it did. The moment that was supposed to launch a career on YouTube ended up taking his life, leaving behind not just an unfinished dream, but a grieving partner, 2 young children, and a family who would never see him again.
If I'll be ready for Jesus. He probably won't accept me into the pearly gates because how stupid this is, but I have confidence that my girlfriend will hit the book and not me. Let's do it.
Storm de Beul, known online as Storm Outdoorsy, was a 22-year-old Belgian YouTuber who had built his channel around survival and wilderness vlogs. His videos were unique because he rarely spoke, choosing instead to show his outdoor life through actions alone, quietly living in the wilderness and teaching survival by example. In October 2024, he set out on a solo trek in Jokkmokk, northern Sweden, planning to cross the Lapland landscape while documenting his journey for his followers. For days, he filmed his daily routine, showing how he managed the changing conditions, and even recorded several personal messages, one to a close friend and another to his grandmother. In one of them, he explained how the weather had already turned against him, saying quietly into the camera, "Tonight it's going to get worse. Jesus Christ." By then, he was about a day's walk from where he had left his car. The snow was falling harder, and the wind was picking up. At around 2 a.m. on October 30th, Storm made his final contact. He called Swedish emergency services, reporting that he was injured, likely with a broken nose from a fall, and that he urgently needed help. But soon, his phone either lost power or froze in the extreme cold, cutting off the call. Rescue efforts were launched, but the weather had turned into a full blizzard, with winds reaching 120 kilometers per hour and temperatures dropping to -6 degrees Celsius, the wind chill making it feel closer to -18. The storm made it impossible for help to reach him in time. Later, rescue teams finally reached his location. They found Storm's body in the wilderness, some distance away from his tent. His backpack carried only a sleeping bag and a toothbrush. His feet and lower legs were completely frozen, and his broken nose confirmed that he had fallen during his last struggle. Signs of hypothermia showed how he had fought to survive through the night. It is possible that his tent may have been torn away by the hurricane-force winds, leaving him with no shelter and forcing him to attempt to walk for safety. His mother later told Belgian media, "Trees were uprooted that night. Maybe his tent also blew away, and he had no choice but to start walking. He must have suffered for a long time and died alone. I keep imagining his last moments. It devastates me." Storm had tried to reassure his family before things became too severe. To his grandmother, he sent what would be his last message. "It's snowing heavily here, but don't worry, I'll survive, you know." In another message to his father, he wrote words that summed up his approach to life. "Dad, it took me a long time to know what I wanted, but this is what I want." And when his grandmother once asked him why he loved the outdoors so much, his answer was simple: very few people and a lot of nature. What started as a regular adventure vlog ended in tragedy, highlighting how quickly weather conditions can change in the wilderness and how even someone experienced outdoor enthusiasts can be caught off guard in a single night. Tor Rathje Ekhoff, known to many as Apetor, was a Norwegian YouTuber loved for his unique videos that often showed the winter landscapes of the Nordic countries, with him ice skating, swimming in frozen lakes, or testing himself against the elements in ways that felt both lighthearted and daring. Even though he had more than 1.4 million subscribers, he lived a very simple life. He worked at a paint factory, and he made his videos mostly for his own enjoyment rather than for money. For him, filming was a hobby, not a business, and that was part of what made him so endearing to his fans. But on November 27th, 2021, a day that was meant to be just another adventure to capture on camera turned into something far more tragic. That morning, he texted his partner, saying that the conditions looked good for ice skating. He was excited to film, as he always was, and he went out alone to Jakobs Dam near Kongsberg, Norway. At first, it was supposed to be just another of his playful recordings, but while out on the frozen water, the ice suddenly gave way beneath him with a loud crack, and in an instant, he was pulled into the freezing water below. There was no one nearby to help him, no one to reach out a hand or throw a rope. He was completely alone. Rescue divers later managed to recover him and rushed him to the hospital, but the freezing temperatures had already taken their toll. By the following night, he had passed away from hypothermia. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that just 5 days earlier, he had uploaded a video titled, "I am not dead, I am 57 today." In it, he sat in an icy bathtub drinking vodka, joking as he always did and telling his fans he was alive and well. It was something of a tradition for him. Each year on his birthday, he would post a video reminding his followers that he was still here, still smiling, still enjoying life. After his death, his partner, Tove Skjerven, shared her grief in a Facebook post, speaking about the love she had for him and the heartbreak of losing him so suddenly. In Norway, the media began asking questions about the risks of filming alone in such dangerous conditions, and whether the pursuit of these adventurous moments had ultimately cost him his life. In the end, what was supposed to be a fun outing, something he had done many times before, turned into a tragedy that no one expected. Even with all his experience and resilience in the outdoors, he could not save himself that day. Dmitry Bashentsev, better known online as the creator behind Beam of the Inquisition, was a Russian content creator whose work focused almost entirely on urban exploration, a hobby where people enter and document abandoned man-made structures, often without permission, to capture the forgotten and decaying spaces that most people never see.
Садись, да. Меняться, друг друга менять. Артем, дай мне свое лицо, а я тебе свое.
On September 10th, 2021, what should have been a routine exploration for Dmitry and his two friends quickly turned into something far more tragic. The group had chosen an abandoned building near a tram depot in Moscow, a structure originally built in 1971 and once used for storing heavy vehicles such as buses. Renovation plans for the building had long been suspended, leaving the place in a state of slow decay. Dmitry and his friends entered the structure and set their sights on reaching the roof, hoping to film from above for his channel. His two friends managed to climb the fire escape ladder system and successfully made it to the top. But when Dmitry attempted the same climb, things took a turn. You see, he tried to follow their path up the fire escape, and in that moment, he lost his grip, and in full view of his friends, he fell from the ladder, plummeting 5 stories to the ground below. The impact was so severe that his life ended instantly. Given the age of the building and its poor condition, some initially assumed the structure itself had failed. But since his two companions had just used the same ladder without issue, the evidence suggests the problem may have been more individual. Perhaps fatigue, a slip in grip, or even a localized weakness in one part of the fire escape that gave way under his weight. Timing and distribution, with multiple people using the system in close succession, may also have weakened the structure further, but witnesses, including the two friends present at the time, confirmed that the ladder itself, the fire escape attached to the exterior wall, was in a state of dangerous disrepair. Today, his channel remains online. The final video, uploaded on December 1st by his friends, shows them exploring the Chernobyl exclusion zone as a tribute to him, released on what would have been his birthday.
Стекла уже выбиты, ворота открыты. А вот, собственно, и сами дома, их тут довольно много. Ну, не меньше 10 точно. Я, конечно, не буду обещать, что мы... Здравствуйте. Вы здесь отдыхаете? Интересно, в этой комнате что у нас было? Известно.
Неизвестно.
Вот такая вот печальная история. Так что, друзья, с заброшенными местами аккуратней. Соблюдайте все правила осторожности. А лучше не ходите по ним.
In the end, what began as just another exploration of an abandoned site turned into a devastating tragedy, and it stands as a reminder that while urban exploration can be fascinating, without proper safety measures, the risks can very quickly become fatal.